So yeah, guys, this actually just feels like such a mom story time episode where, mommy would come and just tell her story. I'm following in her footsteps right now. I don't understand what's going on. Like, why do I have this allergy? I was wondering, could I be pregnant? I was in disbelief. I was standing there like, me? Me pregnant? Me? Melody is pregnant. Melody is pregnant. I definitely need to check on this before I fly out, because so far I've only done the self-test and I haven't seen a doctor's yet, so this is my first doctor's appointment. I'm going to call the doctors directly and ask if she can squeeze you in, because we need to know what is going on. You could see a little tiny thing and you literally could see a heartbeat already, and I'm like at first said the estimated due date would have been on his birthday, and I'm like, that's crazy. Sometime, when my brother was passing, he could hear that. And then he even went to Kerry, my sister-in-law, and he was like, I want to mail. She just a vomit. So but guys, there was then this very, very scary, like super scary moment. Just for the ultrasound alone, it would have been like $350, anywhere between $350 and $500. And we're like, I literally just want to do a ultrasound to see if my baby is still okay, if my baby is still inside of me, if the heart is beating, all of that.
Oh, look at your baby. Look at the head. Round. You see the heart beating?
Yeah. Hello my beautiful lovelies, it's your girl Mel. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Pregnancy Journey Vlogs. I think I named it. Listen, pregnancy brain is in full effect. But yeah, welcome to the first official vlog, I guess. In the last video you saw me revealing it to my friends and family. Of course, that happened over a span of time, and since the day I knew I was pregnant, I did try to record here and there, very sparsely, trust me. Like, it's nothing it's not going to be like a very smooth continuous vlog, because sometimes I'm so in the moment that I forget to pick up the camera or stuff like that. But I'm going to try and fill you in as much as possible, okay guys? But yeah, so we are going to basically start our journey from the moment I found out. So let's get into the video. So guys, when I actually just found out, how did I find out? So if you guys remembered, I'm going to insert some footage here. If you guys remember, I have mentioned this before. I all of a sudden, out of the blue, developed a seafood allergy. Because I prepared some lobster. My lovely friend Anthony, he gave me some lobster, and I prepared some lobster, and I realized after eating the lobster that my face was, filling up with fine pimples, as you can see here. And then I was like, that's strange. Like, it was nothing more than just my face like breaking out, basically. Like, I didn't have any itchy throat, I didn't have any swelling of any parts of me, really and truly. It was just my face that kind of reacted. So I was like, okay, weird, but okay. So I think a couple days later, like 3 days later or so, I made some curry shrimp. And the same thing happened. Like right after I done ate, like 10 minutes later, I realized that my face was breaking out again. I'm like, what's going on? Like, am I developing a seafood allergy here? Like, this is so strange. I called up mommy and said, this is happening to me and I don't know where it's coming from. Like, why all of a sudden me in my big age is developing a seafood allergy, knowing that I love seafood so much and I've eaten so much of it as well. I was like, sometimes it happens, you know, at random age you just develop an allergy. I'm like, okay. I told my boyfriend about it, and you know, most of the people, I was like, I don't understand what's going on. Like, why do I have this allergy? But then one night I was just like laying in my bed and I'm like, is it possible that you develop an allergy due to pregnancy? Right? Because your girl knew that, hey, there's a certain amount of, you know, there's a certain percentage of possibility that I could be pregnant. And I was just laying there and I was like, And then I Googled, can you develop allergies due to pregnancy? And the first thing that popped up was, yes, it can happen. So, of course, what I did was the following morning, I still had a pregnancy test. So the following morning, I woke up early in the morning and I took a pregnancy test. At this point, I didn't mention to my boyfriend as yet that I have any suspicion of, you know, I just wanted to do the test to see for myself. So I did the test and I got this result. Now you might look at this and say, or you might look at this and be like me and see like a very faint second line. And like, I was wondering, could I be pregnant? Like, I was literally there standing in the morning like, I don't know what's going on. Like, does this mean I'm pregnant or not? Like, I was confused. All right, guys, I really and truly did not know what was the case because the line was so faint, guys. I'm like, I don't know. Like, this is not certain enough for me. But anyways, then I Googled, of course, if you see a faint line, what could that mean? Then it could mean like, you know, it's a false positive, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. And they just said, wait a couple days to do a second test. Well, I was supposed to wait like, I think up to a week to do a second test. So I'm like, okay. In that whole entire time, I still did not mention to my boyfriend that I took a test or anything. Then a couple days later, I did, I was spotting a little bit, like very minor spotting. I was like, I guess my period is coming after all, so I guess I'm not pregnant. But it was not like how my period would normally behave. Like when it's coming on, that's not how my period behaves. So I was like, no, something not right there. So I did go out again and bought another pregnancy test because I didn't have any more. And I took another test and this time it looked like this. Well, you're gonna see both of them side by side, but you can see the clear difference between them, right? This time it looked like this. A big, bright red second line. And I am like, oh my God. I am actually pregnant. Who could? Like, I was in disbelief. I was standing there like, me pregnant? Me, Melody, is pregnant. Melody is pregnant. Yeah. I then came to the realization after, a couple minutes, I'm like, damn, I guess I am actually pregnant. But I still was very much in disbelief. Like, I could not accept it at that moment. But then at that point now, I did decide to tell my boyfriend about it. And I put together this cute little video, it was like this TikTok trend of this song saying something about you and I, you and I. And I put pictures of him and me, him again, then me, and then it says in the lyrics something about us. And when the us part jumped in now, I just added the picture of the pregnancy test. And I sent it to him while I was on FaceTime with him. And, I made him watch it while we were on the phone. So that was how he then found out that we were pregnant. He was elated. He was happy. He was extremely excited. He was more excited than I was at the moment because I still was in so much shock and disbelief. So he was like, yeah, the happier one out of the both of us in that specific moment, because I still didn't believe it fully, especially since I saw the spotting. So yeah, it took me longer to fully accept the fact that I was pregnant. And to confirm this, I did decide to go and head to my gynecologist so we could do a checkup on that and see what was going on. But the thing is now, with my gynecologist, she is not in Portland. That Portland is not her main office. She's only in Portland, I think, every 2 weeks, something like that. Every 2 weeks or once a month. I don't even remember right now. But yeah, so her main office is not in Portland. She has a office in Kingston. This was the same doctor that found mommy's womb cancer years ago and did the operations and everything. And she has treated my sister with all of her kids and stuff. So it was somebody that we have been dealing with over a time. So yeah, I was actually leaving to go to the States a couple days later, so I really could not wait for her to come back to Portland, so I definitely had to go and see her in Kingston. So I drove all the way to Kingston so I could see her, but this is that footage. Hey my lovelies, so this is part of the pregnancy vlog, and I'm currently in Kingston. I just got to Kingston. If I sound kind of away, it's because I'm sick. But yeah, I'm in Kingston because my gyno that I normally go to, she only comes to Port Antonio every 2 weeks, and I'm flying out next week, Wednesday, when she would come to Port Antonio. And yeah, that would mean I would miss the appointment and I wouldn't be able to see her for another 4 weeks or so. So that is a no-go. I definitely need to check on this before I fly out, because so far I've only done the self-tests and I haven't seen a doctor yet, so this is my first doctor's appointment. So yeah, wish me luck, guys. Wish me luck. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay, guys. So yeah, guys, as you can tell in that little snippet, that I'm kind of, a little nervous. But I was basically saying wish me luck, guys, because I was still having some spotting at this time, and I was just like concerned of if this is normal or not. Mind you, at this point I've only told my boyfriend, so I haven't told anybody else. I haven't told my sister or anybody else as yet, so I really didn't have a female figure to ask, hey, is this normal? So yeah, I was just there, me not having a clue, him worse not have no clue, so as a man. But yeah, so I headed inside and I went in there, and the doctor saw me, and I told her that I took 2 pregnancy tests and that they showed positive. I even showed her the pictures on my phone. Normally they would do a pee test as well again in the office, but she was like, well, it's clear as day on these pictures already that you are pregnant, so we don't need to waste our time doing all of that. We know that you're pregnant. So anyway, she told me to go and lay on the bed, and then she did a whole check and stuff because I was telling her that I was spotting and seeing some blood. Yeah, this time I did know that there was such a thing called implantation bleeding. That is when it's like implanting itself into the wall of the uterus and stuff, and that could naturally cause some spotting to happen. So I didn't know anything about that. But anyways, I guess due to the amount that my doctor was seeing as well in the time when she was checking me out, she then mentioned to me, oh, this amount of blood would kind of be a sign of a threatened miscarriage. So I would be a case where basically it's called a threatened miscarriage. So when I heard that, I'm like, oh my god, what? Huh? Started worrying immediately, and didn't really like that because naturally, as I said, seeing the amount of blood that I was seeing, it was like, okay, yeah, something seems to be off. But yeah, so she was like, oh, since this is a case, she wants me to immediately see an ultrasound specialist so they can check out what's going on, because she didn't have an ultrasound machine at her office. So me being in Kingston, I don't know nobody in Kingston. I don't know when no office them. I don't know who do ultrasound, who do what. I don't have a clue. So she's like, oh, right around the corner there's this place where they do ultrasounds and stuff like that. So she actually said, I'm going to try and get you to go there immediately. Normally you have to set an appointment beforehand, blah blah blah, but I'm going to call the doctors directly and ask if she can squeeze you in, because we need to know what is going on. So she made a phone call and got through, and they said they're actually booked out, but I should still come, and in case anybody does not come, or whenever they do see the time to can squeeze me in, they will squeeze me in. So she's like, all right, come, let's wrap up. She wrote down some stuff what they're supposed to check for, and this, that, and the third. I say, go and head there. She gave me the address and stuff. So I drove all the way around there. It was like literally 5 minutes around the corner. I drove there and was just sitting in the waiting room, sitting and waiting and waiting and waiting, because of course I didn't have a specific time slot to get checked out. So I just had to wait until they could see me. But in that time, guys, my nerves, I'm like, oh my god. I texted my boyfriend. I said, babe, this is what they said. They said something about a threatened miscarriage because of the bleeding, this, that, and the third. And he was just trying to be very supportive. he was at work at the time. So he was trying to call me and talk to me and say, don't worry yourself, everything is going to be okay. Yeah, just don't think about it too much. Just make them see you, and then we will know what will be the case. But he was like, don't worry yourself, man. Everything alright. There's nothing to worry about. So I then went into the office and they did do the ultrasound. The doctor was super, super nice and very friendly. It was a really good experience, actually. And then, we were talking about the same thing of, me doing this checkup because of the spotting and so forth. And then she was even trying to encourage me and just, let me worry less by saying, oh, with her pregnancies, she was bleeding a lot, especially in the first trimester, and all of her kids came out fine and there was never a miscarriage or anything. So she had a lot of bleeding throughout her pregnancies as well. So she's like, it's not as abnormal, but of course we have to check. So then the first ultrasound that they did was the outside one, just put it on the tummy. And when she did that, we couldn't see much. I think we saw like the sac, but we couldn't see if there was anything in there or if it was just empty. Yeah, like there was nothing much to be seen. So then they also did the internal one, and when she did the internal one, now you could see a little tiny thing. I didn't record the footage here, I'm so sorry, but you could see a little tiny thing, and you literally could see a heartbeat already. And I'm like, oh my god. You just saw a little flutter in the little peanut bean looking thing. And yeah, she's like, oh, there's a heartbeat already, so the fetus seems to be fine. She doesn't see any major signs of anything that I need to be concerned about or anything like that. So everything seems to be okay. And she did her little report and sent it over to my gynecologist, and then my gynecologist saw it in the email and then called me and said, okay, this and that is the case. Just take your time. Don't do the regular stuff they tell us. Don't do any heavy lifting, don't do this, don't do that. Yeah. So she then told me all of that, and before, of course, she did write a prescription for me for prenatals and folic acid, and said I should go and get those so I could take those. And at this point, I did find out that I was 6 weeks pregnant. 6 weeks and 0 days, based on the measurement that she took. And very, very surprisingly, the estimated due date at that point, which I found crazy, was the exact birthday of my boyfriend. And this estimated due date has changed since then, because I did other ultrasound and I got a different estimated due date. But yeah, they at first said the estimated due date would have been on his birthday, and I'm like, that's crazy. Like, out of all of the days it's on your birthday. He was excited and happy about that, and he's like, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind the baby comes on my birthday. I'm like, no, we're not doing all of that. I need you guys to have separate birthdays. Like, you and the baby need to have separate birthdays, because we're not going to stress me out for that 124-hour day. Y'all not gonna do that to me, okay? Because imagine I would have to focus on the baby's birthday, like in the morning and throughout the day, focus on the baby's birthday at that time, and then evening time I have to do something separate and apart and special for my boyfriend. That's too much stress for 124-hour day. Knowing how extravagant I like to do my stuff, no, we not doing that. But yeah, so I then gave him, of course, the good news that I did see a heartbeat and the baby seems to be fine and stuff. And yeah, I flew out and headed to the States. So when I got to the States, that was when I told, no, before I left to the States, after that appointment, I did tell my sister about it. So Mayumi was the first person to find out because I had like a few questions and I'm like, why am I here struggling trying to Google all this stuff when I literally have people in my corner that already been through it and can just answer me directly. So I told her, and you have seen her reaction in the last video. And then yeah, I flew out and went to the States, and I went and visited my brother and my sister-in-law and nieces and nephew. And yeah, then I had to tell Carrie because me and Carrie would have been like around each other majority of the time. And I did start developing some nausea, and luckily I wasn't vomiting or anything like that, but the nauseous feeling was just constantly there. And having that all day long and not being able to eat normal and stuff was just, it would have been a sign for sure. So I'm like, okay, I need to tell her, but I do not want to tell Yush because Yush, the entire family, we will be having a family reunion in Germany in May, and I want to tell all of them face to face together. So I'm like, all right, Carrie, I'm going to tell you this, but you cannot tell Yush. And she did keep the secret for me, so shout outs to you, Carrie. She did keep the secret for me. And then I was in Germany, and you remember about Germany? I was in the States. Tell you about pregnancy, Brennan. I was in the States, and yeah, the funny thing was there was a party happening. I'm going to insert some pictures of that time. So it was Carrie's birthday, Carrie and her siblings' birthday party, because all of them have their birthday in the same month. They were having a celebration, and then I was like, damn, normally when I'm over here and we're having a party, I'm always down with my brother and everybody else down to drink, right? So I'm in the mix of drinking and just having fun and doing the most and all of that. And I'm like, how the hell may I go come up with an excuse to be like, okay, I cannot drink. So I came up with a plan now. Since I was sick, that was one of the things too. I did get sick, like I caught a flu. So I did have like some cold and stuff, and normally when I do have that, I tend to have something with my tonsils a lot of the times. And this was something that my brother has seen happen before already. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna have to just say, hey, I'm on antibiotics, and that's why I can't drink, because I had a tonsil infection, and when you're on antibiotics you can't drink. So that was my excuse for that one specific party. So I was just there, enjoying myself with everybody else. I think I would just be adding some photos. And yeah, that first time was fine and dandy. After that, guys, OMG. There was a fish fry that was happening 2 weeks later, and I was like, all right, the antibiotic story not gonna work anymore, because I not take antibiotics for so long. Like, there's only a certain amount of time you get antibiotics for. So what else can I use as an excuse now? I really didn't use anything as an excuse. I just went and what happened? I just went and ate and stuff. Like, I was even eating the food. I think I have a video of that too. I was eating the food, and it was so hard to like eat the food because I don't know, I just felt nauseous all the time. And yeah, I just didn't drink. Like, I just didn't drink. Like, I didn't make it a big deal. I didn't draw any focus to it. I didn't mention it, anything like that, right? There were some other times where I did have to run to the bathroom, or especially in the mornings when I was brushing my teeth, I always tend to gag, especially brushing my tongue. That was one of the killers. Like, anytime, as soon as the toothbrush touched my tongue, me just start gag. And then sometime, when my brother was passing, he could hear that. And then he even went to Carrie, my sister-in-law, and he was like, I want to mail. She just a vomit. So and then Carrie was like, our tonsil, man, our tonsil like our problem, like our throat, she have cold build up in her throat and it just not come out and stuff. So Carrie was trying to hold it down for me. She was there trying to come up with a lot of excuses with me to tell my brother. And she was texting me and saying, your brother just asked me I want to, I'm going to tell him this, that, and the third. So I knew the lie as well. So yeah, we just formed a little clique of how to not make Yash find out that I'm pregnant. But guys, there was then this very, very scary, like super, super scary moment. Yeah, knowing that I was basically classified as a threatened miscarriage. I was extremely concerned about seeing that, because that was very abnormal. Before it was just, a little spot in here and there, but that was extremely, extremely abnormal. And the whole entire time before that, nothing like that happened. So when I saw that now, I'm like, am I having a miscarriage right now? Because I had some cramping with it as well, like my belly was cramping. And I googled what are the symptoms of miscarriage, blah blah blah. Of course, cramping, heavy bleeding, clots, stuff like that, all of those are symptoms. And I did call Carrie and I'm like, Carrie, this just happened and I don't know what to do. Like, I'm scared, I don't know what this mean, this, that, and the third. And she's like, all right, we're going to try and find somewhere that we can get you checked out. But mind you guys, I am in the States at this point. I don't have any insurance in the United States. I don't have any of those stuff, right? So naturally, most places that we did call, they were like, oh, you would have to basically get a recommendation from a doctor to say you are pregnant. So I would have to go to the doctor first and get a confirmation that I'm pregnant, and then they would take that recommendation and then see me and do the ultrasound. And the cost of all of that would have been ridiculous, because some of them were saying just for the ultrasound alone, it would have been like $350, anywhere between $350 and $500 US. And we're like, I literally just want to do a ultrasound to see if my baby is still okay, if my baby is still inside of me, if the heart is beating, all of that. So Carrie and I were like up and down. We couldn't ask nobody else for help because nobody else couldn't find out yet that I'm pregnant. So she was trying to remember a spot that her sister went to when she was pregnant years ago. Because at that point her sister wasn't insured either or anything, but she could not remember the name to save her life. And she was like, say Yasha would I know though. I'm like, we can't tell Yasha, we just can't tell Yasha. So anyways, we did find a spot that did say they would do the ultrasound. So it's just to do the ultrasound. They don't do anything more or less. They just allow you to basically do the checkup on the baby. So we made an appointment. I think that cost me like $80 US. So it was definitely a lot better than paying $350 up for just the ultrasound and knowing that I would have to see the doctor beforehand, which would come with a whole nother fee. So yeah, just to do the ultrasound at that specific spot was $80 US. So we made an appointment and we drove, I think, almost an hour there because it was nowhere close to where we lived. So we drove an hour there and they saw me, and this was basically what I got to see. I did get to hear the baby's heartbeat for the very first time.
Here we go. Let's see what we can see here. The baby's there.
Yes.
Thank God. Look at your cutie. Oh, look at your baby. Look at the head. Round. You see the heart beating?
Yeah.
Look, I'll show you. Look. You see the heart going?
Yeah.
Hey, cutie, look. Hi, baby. Mama's here to see you. Wow. Everything looks beautiful. Be happy.
Okay, good.
Yeah, look at the cord. You see the cord and the little leg? Look at the umbilical cord going up and look at the little leg. Oh. Look at that. You can really see it. Love it. I think you have like 8 weeks and some days.
Yeah, 8 weeks and 4 days. Should be the
5 days.
5 days? Okay. Strong heartbeat.
Beautiful. Cute. So now you have to try to relax and keep enjoying your pregnancy because everything looks beautiful. Look at the heart, 170, perfect. Perfect heartbeat.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, and you see all the room that you have. Beautiful space, beautiful. Look at that. Look, baby, it's moving.
Yeah.
Look. Hi, cutie. Oh my goodness, it is so tiny.
Yeah.
So mom, get ready. Look at the heart.
Yeah, the heart is beating strong. Yes.
Perfect. Be happy, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. I'm relieved.
Now you can breathe.
Yes. So yeah, guys, this actually just feels like such a mom story time episode where, you know, mommy would come and just tell her story. I'm following in her footsteps right now. But yeah, I think this is enough for right now. So this is the video of how I found out I was pregnant and hearing the baby's heartbeat for the very first time. So this will be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.